So for the last little while, as in 6 months to a year, we really started to shy away from that variable. We saw this steady increase in rates that made the variable get really expensive. And really at one point, the variable was almost a percentage point more expensive than a fixed. It almost came to the idea of like, what was the point? But let's talk about the pros and the cons of a variable. And regardless of rates, one of the pros, and I feel is the most important one, is flexibility. You see, the average mortgage in Canada lasts only 36 months. People refinance for all sorts of reasons. And the penalty on a variable is only 3 months of interest. So that gives you the ultimate flexibility for a generally fairly minor penalty, but to be able to refinance really whenever you want to. Now, the other part is if you kind of look at the variable over a long period of time, it typically wins. It's typically a little bit cheaper. But we know the con is, we saw it over the last 18 months with those steady increases, and now getting to, quite frankly, the highest we've seen in the last 25 years. Now, the one trick that's happened, the one thing that we've seen, is the fixed rates have caught up. And so when you're looking at those short-term fixed rates, they're pretty close to the variable. So if you think that the likelihood that the rates are going to start to come down and you value that flexibility, you might be wanting to lean back the variable. However, if the idea of the rates moving up really kind of sends you for a spin, that's not going to change. Are they going to come down? Absolutely. But they'll go back up too. It's a fluctuating thing, and if you just don't got the stomach for it, it might not be worth it regardless of the savings.